Cresselia has been popping up here and there in Regulation I, with getting a pretty high placement on the Pokemon Showdown ladder, and then afterward making a Day 2 appearance at the North American International Championship, and recently a top 16 performance at the Japan National Championship. We're going to be trying out that Cresselia team and seeing how well it can perform. This is an interesting take on Miraidon Zamazenta, which features Ursaluna and Electric Seed Cresselia. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Choice Scarf Miraidon with the Hadron engine to give the Miraidon a special attack boost when the electric terrain is summoned, and the electric Terra type to power up its electric type moves: Electric Drift and Volt Switch, Draco Meteor, and Snarl. So Choice Scarf Miraidon, a mon that really is effective, especially more so in the close team sheet side. It is able to outspeed Pokemon like the Calyrexs Shadow Rider and put on more pressure, especially against the opposing Miraidons that run like Choice Specs or Assault Vest. You do have that Choice Scarf just enabling it, and of course it is pretty effective, especially into Tailwind teams, because even with the Tailwind, Choice Scarf Miraidon can still outspeed quite a bit of threats. Across the board, you have pretty standard Miraidon set other than Snarl, but the Choice Scarf sets do run Snarl in order to help out against like Calyrexs Shadow Rider redirection and just special attacks in general, which can be pretty nice because the Zamazenta will be taking hits very easily on the physical side, while you can neuter the special side. With the EV spread, it is 244 with a modest nature, just to power up the Miraidon, because of the fact that since you're running Choice Scarf, you don't have like a Life Orb or Choice Spec, so you're really missing that damage output. So you want to dish out as much damage as you possibly can. 132 HP gives the Miraidon a number that is divisible by 16, so you get extra grassy terrain recovery, and then the rest is able to go into speed. This allows the Miraidon to always outspeed, for instance, a timid Choice Scarf Landers Incarnate. With just the remainder into defenses across the board, Choice Scarf Miraidon is definitely interesting how it plays, but a fast Volt Switch mod, especially into like a Calyrexs Shadow Rider team or like Choice Scarf Kyogres, that is very useful against. It can be very helpful with like fast offensive pressure instead of doing as much offensive pressure as like a Choice Spec set. Next Pokemon we have is the Focus Sash Xianpao with the Sword of Ruin and the Stellar Terra type with Icicle Crash, Throat Chop, Sucker Punch, and Protect. Across the board, it is a pretty standard Xianpao. Focus Sash allows you to hang on from one really powerful attack when you have full HP. You have the Sword of Ruin that's able to lower the defense of all other Pokemon on the field. The Stellar Terra type, which is able to boost the power of its attacks. And you have double dark coverage with Zamazenta because you want to be able to hit the ghost types, especially with the dark type moves, and Icicle Crash, of course, a really strong ice type move. And you do have a Miraidon, so you don't really want to go Ice Spinner. EV spread is simple: max attack, max speed for defense. This one opting for an animate nature instead of the jolly one because you want to just hit it as hard as you possibly can with the Icicle Crash. Next Pokemon we have is the Rusted Shield Crown Zamazenta with the Dauntless Shield, giving a +1 defense once per battle, with the Grass Terra type with the Body Press, Heavy Slam, Wide Guard, and Protect. It's a pretty standard Zamazenta otherwise. Grass Terra we don't really commonly see as much. In the beginning it was very popular, but of course Grass Terra type is still pretty good. It is able to help out with just being able to resist electric type moves, really strong water type moves, especially from Kyogre and the Rapid Strike Urshifu. It is able to help out quite a bit with Amoonguss Spore if there's like a terrain change matchup. And yeah, it's able to do quite a bit with the Body Press and Heavy Slam, which are really good damage output moves for Zamazenta. The Wide Guard that's just able to prevent any spread moves from affecting your side of the field, and Protect to keep itself around. It's a pretty standard Zamazenta otherwise. You have a really bulky one though, 236 HP with 204 defense and an impish nature. It is just able to really dish out heavy amounts of damage utilizing that Body Press, especially while having a good amount of HP to take hits on both spectrums. 20 special defense and then 44 speed. This allows you to outspeed, I believe it is like the modest Landers Incarnates that are max speed. And yeah, across the board, it is just a simple tank. You don't really need as much speed. You don't really have any fast speed control. You're only really relying on your Miraidon as the fast output, and you don't have like Icy Wind or more. So why not run it slower? You're able to take advantage maybe of the Trick Room with Cresselia, and it can just help out there and just tank attacks with the amount of damage it can just throw off with the Body Press powered by the Sword of Ruin. Next Pokemon we have is the Electric Seed Cresselia, which gives it a +1 defense boost when the electric terrain is up with the Levitate ability that makes it immune to ground type attacks, with the Fairy Terra type, which is able to be immune to the Dragon type moves, but also a great defensive type in general, resisting the really powerful Dark and Bug coverage moves out there, with Moonblast, Lunar Blessing, Trick Room, and Helping Hand. Across the board, we don't really see Cresselia too much, mainly because of its power creep. It did get access to Lunar Blessing back in the Legends of Arceus game, and it has been a pretty big staple with Lunar Blessing in previous regulations. However, in restricted formats, it's just been outclassed as a Trick Room setter. Of course, there's Pokemon like Calyrexs, Farigiraf, which has been a big one to help out against, for instance, the Lunala and the Calix Shadow Riders that have just been super threatening to Cresselia. But what Cresselia does add to this team is the Levitate ability, because you are running 2 restricted Pokemon that do not love ground coverage whatsoever. So having that Levitate option, Lunar Blessing is really nice on this team because you do have ways to recover HP, especially on a bulky Zamazenta, the Ursaluna, and of course a Volcarona, which doesn't have much support with Fake Out, so it will be taking chip, and being able to heal with Lunar Blessing is a pretty helpful thing. And then Helping Hand to power up the allies, which can be really great with Scarf, Miraidon, Chien-Pao, Zamazenta, Ursaluna especially, though it is able to actually provide a pretty interesting niche in the format. With this EV spread, it is 228 HP, which is able to live stuff like Final Gambit from the Annihilate, but also just in general. Like, normally it's a number divisible by 16, but Cresselia is actually one of those mons that aren't affected by terrains like grassy terrain, so it wouldn't be able to heal from that, which is interesting. The defense 76, 116 special attack, so it can still do damage with the Moonblast and the Terra Fairy Moonblast. 76 special defense with a calm nature, just gives it an extra stat point, but in general you want to be able to tank the physical sides with the electric seed boost, and then the special sides just having that extra bit with the nature. And I believe 12 speed EVs, that does allow you to outspeed the 4 speed EV Rillaboom, which is pretty common, but otherwise that's the only thing I can really think of. Maybe you'd be able to check that number, maybe get a Moonblast or a Lunar Blessing before Rillaboom's able to get attacked, so that could be a benefit. And yeah, Cresselia is just able to be a great support Pokemon. It's very niche on this team, being helpful with that Levitate ability, so you can actually switch into Pokemon like Landorus, Incarnate, and Groudon, which is very nice, but also immune to your own Earthquake from the Ursaluna. That electric seed boost just gives you a really strong defense stat, and then thanks to its good special defense, it is going to be able to take attacks, and with wide guard support to block the Astral Barrage as well as the Terastallization, you can play around the Astral Barrages, get the Trick Room up, heal your partners, and more. We'll see if it is going to be worth it in today's episode. Next up, we have the Flame Orb Ursaluna, which does burn the Ursaluna with the Guts ability, which is able to give the Ursaluna a 1.5 times boost to its attack, ignoring the burn reduction, with the Ghost Terror type that's able to be helpful against Fake Out and super effective fighting coverage, with Headlong Rush, Earthquake, Facade, and Protect. It's pretty standard Ursaluna, what to say. It's a very consistent mon. You know what Ursaluna does, but it really is just about dishing out a lot of damage. It's great into the 2 common restrictions of Calix Shadow Rider and Miraidon, because you are immune to the really powerful Ghost and Electrotite coverage, which is an incredible immunity and able to really fire back really powerful facades that are just really hard to switch into even after an Intimidate or Reflect. And it's just able to do a ton with being able to help out against opposing Miraidon, especially with the electric coverage, and threaten them under the Trick Room. So EV spread wise, 140 HP, which is able to give pretty much the max amount of HP that you can have before taking an extra amount of HP from burn, because this is a number divisible by 16 and then -1, so you will be taking the least amount of burn damage while having the maximum HP you can have. 244 attack, which is able to do as much damage as it possibly can, really, and then 124 special defense, because Ursaluna's special defense is a lot weaker than its physical defense, so you want to be able to tank the special hits such as like out of terrain Draco Meteors, the Astral Barrages, and or not Astral Barrages, but Psychics from Calix Shadow Rider, and more. So it is just a great wall breaker. It's pretty common in the format. It's just able to do a lot, tank attacks. The only thing is it's slow, but that's where Trick Room comes in to benefit. Next Pokemon we have is the Leftovers Volcarona with the Flame Body ability, which gives it a chance to burn any Pokemon that come into contact with Volcarona. The Dragon Terror typing, which is able to help out against really strong water type moves, as well as electric, grass, able to resist all of those, with the Quiver Dance, Struggle-Bug, Flamethrower, and Protect. Across the board, Volcarona is pretty common on the Chien-Pao, Zamazenta, Miraidon teams, because that is able to help out against opposing Zamazenta, as you don't really have the best body press switch-ins, able to threaten stuff like the Calix Shadow Rider and the Zamazenta course especially, The Quiver Dance is just really helpful with just being able to be boosted. And you have the Lunar Blessing to heal it with the Cresselia, as this Volcarona is able to heal just thanks to leftovers and Lunar Blessing because it doesn't run Giga Drain, opting for Struggle Bug in order to lower the special attack damage output of opposing teams, as well as the Flamethrower. That is an interesting choice. It's usually Fiery Dance, but the Flamethrower just getting that extra bit of power in case, because there might be some calcs with the Flamethrower over Fiery Dance, especially because this Volcarona does not run much special attack, so you might need that extra bit of power. With the EV spread, it is 252 HP. That gives it the maximum amount of recovery that it can get from grassy terrain and the leftovers, because it is a number divisible by 16. You have 132 speed with a Timid Nature that allows the Volcarona after a Quiver Dance to be able to outspeed the Calyrexs Shadow Rider, and then the rest are going into defense to be able to tank on the body presses and more, because you're boosting the other stats utilizing the Quiver Dance. It is an effective sweeper that can just do well into opposing Zamazenta teams and a few others where it's just able to tank attacks, and thanks to the leftovers and the Lunar Blessing, it is able to heal back up, and with Struggle Bug, able to provide a way to reduce special attack damage output, which is great, of course, for the Zamazenta and the Cresselia. So how to use the team? I would say a lot of it does rely on disruption with Miraidon. Generally, you use your Choice Scarf Miraidon to set up the Electric Seed on the Cresselia, as well as just kind of go straight for damage with Electro Drift or Volt Switch. Sometimes you just go for a powerful Draco Meteor or Snarl to reduce their special attack damage output. And then you try to set up whether it's either going to be the Volcarona Quiver Dance, or you're going to try to set up Trick Room or get chip damage so that Ursaluna can sweep. There's also other ways. Of course, Xianpao Zamazenta is a really strong lead in general. The Focus Sash on Xianpao is pretty safe, and the really bulky Zamazenta, you can go for like some pretty powerful double ups. And of course, the Cresselia mode is able to lead, for instance, straight up with Miraidon or the Zamazenta if you need a wide guard support, and able to go for like Lunar Blessings to heal up the Zamazenta and the Ursaluna especially, or the Volcarona. Go for the Trick Room to set up for the Ursaluna so it can just go for sweeps with Helping Hand at powerful attacks. And of course, Cresselia, Miraidon, Electric Seed, Helping Hand access, just Volt Switch, Trick Room into Ursaluna. There's quite a few things you can do with this team, but if you do want to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. But otherwise, and in the comments down below, let me know of any other, I guess, pseudo legendaries, because Cresselia is not really like a main cover story legend. It's not one of the main legendaries, but it is a legendary Pokemon. What non-restricted legendary Pokemon do you think has potential in Regulation I? Because Cresselia, of course, does have some pretty interesting toolkits, especially that Lunar Blessing and the Levitate. Hopefully we'll get to show it off, but there might be some more hidden ones that we haven't really seen. So let me know if you think of any ones that are underrated in the comments down below. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. All right, we have Calyrexs Ice Rider, Miraidon, Cornerstone Ogerpon, Iron Hands with Farigiraf and the Iron Valiant. So a lot of interesting mons here. I'm trying to figure out what is exactly safest route I could go for in this, because a lot of the plays, I think it would be very aggressive here, because the Miraidon is super threatening. I gotta watch out for the Cali Ice if it gets too out of hand. I don't even know where I want to Terra. Zamazenta could Terra. Fine, I guess. I want to bring Volcarona so I have safer pivots. I definitely want to bring Cresselia or Ursaluna though, because they are in pretty good tools here. I just don't know if I really want my Miraidon, because it only really deals damage to their Miraidon. So I don't really think I want it. But we'll see. I think I'm going to lead Zamazenta and Volcarona, I think. Yeah, because I don't really care if they lead Cornerstone, I think. They might lead Cornerstone Miraidon. Do I care about that? I think it's fine. With Cresselia and Ursaluna back. Because I just don't want to bring my Miraidon, mainly because it feels really awkward to switch into Cali Ice in general with it. And I don't really want to bring Pal to power up that Cali Ice. They also have like Iron Hands and a few others. Okay, we're going to see Miraidon and Farigiraf. Which, this is okay. It's not like terrible. It's not ideal, but I think this is all right. Because I can probably get in my Ursaluna if they're not careful. And I think that might be the play here. Because I am debating about protecting my Zamazenta and just swapping out Vulcan to the Ursaluna. It should be safe for the most part. There's no way you click Dazzling Gleam in this position. I really don't think you drop a Draco here. If they Draco, it's bad, but I mean, I could still play this game around it because then the Miraidon has to switch so I can actually gain some momentum. I may be going for like a Quiver Dance with Volcarona, for instance, so it wouldn't be the worst, but it wouldn't be ideal. I think Volt Switch or Electric Drift is coming out, and I'm pretty sure a Helping Hand is also going to be paired with it, so I will make that decision here. They could go for Trick and Volt Switch, but that also works out fine for me. But yeah, we'll bring out our Ursaluna and protect our Zamazenta. Should be super safe here. They did Volt Switch and they did target my Zamazenta slot. Perfect. Did they Trick Room or Psychic? Oh, you did not want to Trick Room, man. You did not want to Trick Room. Okay, beautiful. I'm not really too scared of Farigiraf either, and they don't have a switch into Facade Body Press on the Miraidon slot unless they're for some reason some Terra Ghost set. Please don't be Terra Ghost. But I will just Facade and Body Press that slot because I either KO'd a Miraidon, which is massive for my Cresselia, or I pin whatever's coming in. Like if they go Cali Ice, like they are taking a ton of damage, and Environment Hands comes out, that also is going down. But they give me the Cali Ice, which is amazing. Getting rid of Cali Ice opens up Ursaluna for the door. They might be trying to reverse Trigger with the Farigiraf, I assume. Then they're making this play. Oh, they just foul play. Okay, that is amazing. I do get the Body Press off into the Cali, and Cali Ice has just gone down. It has just gone down. Fantastic. Okay, great turn one. Even better than I expected. I really thought it was going to be like Helping Hand Volt Switch or Helping Hand Electric. That works out. Iron Hand's coming in. It gets a bit scary now, but I think this is perfectly fine. I want to keep the Ghost typing. I think my play here is just to protect. And we're going to get a bit cheeky. We're going to try to get the Flame Body burn into this slot. Because if we get the Flame Body, I think it's just like instant over. So I will go for it. Sure, I could go for the Terra Ghost and have that, but Volcarona's job has just decreased immensely because of the fact that we have already eliminated the Cali Ice, which was the main reason I brought Volcarona. So I don't need it nearly as much anymore. So I'm fine with giving a Volcarona if necessary. They might Wall Charge Reed, which is fine. Terror-wise, I might tear the Zama, but we'll see. They low kick the Zama and foul play, I guess, the Volk. Yeah, they foul play the Volcarona slot. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this position. I guess we're just gonna go for the Terra Grass. Over the attack, I just go for... I think we target down the Farigiraf. Yeah, I'm gonna Quiver Dance and I'm gonna go for the Body Press, the Terra Grass. If they go for Helping Hand Wall Charge, I'm okay with this. Because they take a bunch of recoil and a chance of Flame Body. If they go for Helping Hand Low Kick, that's fine because Zama will eat it up. They go for the Wall Charge. Perfect. Ooh, that actually KO'd. Did a lot of damage, but that's fine. Alright. Psychic gonna come out in the Zama. Good play, but I mean, at the end of the day, I still think I'm pretty comfortable. Body Press will come out into Farig. As we go Cress. And with that Electric Seed, I just don't see them breaking through this right now. I mean, they will get Miraidon in eventually, but they can't really freely switch into Miraidon because it's just such a hard position for them. I think I'm just going to Body Press and I'm going to Lunar Blessing. They're going to go for Helping Hand. This is either Helping Hand Wall Charge or Helping Hand Low Kick. Neither one will do too much damage thanks to the defense boost on both of them. Low Kick actually did some pretty decent damage, but I will get a Lunar Blessing up. Body Press. Yeah, that's really good damage. Electric Train disappears too. This is a pretty safe Body Press into the Iron Hand slot. Actually, no, they can never switch. I guess I'm just gonna go for Lunar Blessing and protect the Zamazenta. Because if I get the healing on Zamazenta, then I can body press Trick Room the next turn. If they go for Trick Room for me, that's fine too. Because the Iron Hands is just not doing any damage the next turn because they don't have Electric Terrain plus Helping Hand available to them. So I can just go for this Lunar Blessing, be very comfortable with the Cresselia, and then just Trick Room the next turn. They got me, but that is an insane play. Because if I body press, I think they just lost. Okay. That is an insane play. Maybe I got too greedy though. Maybe I should just body press and Trick Room. I wanted the extra Lunar Blessing for Draco Meteor, but I mean, I think this is still alright. Oh, they went for Trick Room. Interesting. Okay. I'm in Speed Ursa, so at the worst I could come down to Speed type, but we just Helping Hand body press. Yeah. They have the Draco Meteor with Miraidon. Here's the thing. They switch out into hands for the Farigiraf, which means they lose their Electric Seed boost. Okay. I don't know about this pivoting. How slow is this Miraidon? Is this Miraidon like super slow? My Zamazenta has like no speed investment. Or maybe it has like a bit, but it's not that much. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be slower. I do get the body press. Good damage to Miraidon. They do go for the Draco Meteor. That's fine. Oh, this is just going to come down to Ursaluna Speed tie. I got too comfortable with the Lunar Blessing earlier. Because if I just body pressed the Miraidon earlier, like the game was a wrap. Maybe we go for Earthquake and we go for Moonblast. There's not too much to say about this. Oh, wait. They have Terastallization available. They do have Terastallization available. I just realized. I don't think Iron Hands lives in Earthquake, though, unless they have a Resist Terra. That's so bad. I should have Facaded the Iron Hands and went for Moonblast. Or Helping Hand Earthquake. No, I don't think Helping Hand Earthquake's ever to play. Because Helping Hand Earthquake would invite the Miraidon to drop a Draco Meteor into my Ursaluna if they fake out Draco Meteor, which they really shouldn't do, but like that is an option. Get Terastallization. Iron Hands. I don't think you live the Earthquake. I really don't think you do. You were low on HP. Yeah. And I outspeed. Here comes the Earthquake. Good. Yeah, I didn't think the Iron Hands lived at that range. I crit the Miraidon, not the hands. So the crit didn't matter. Yeah, okay. It might have been a speed tie though. I'm kind of annoyed that I let it come down to a speed tie. Potential speed tie. We don't know if it was confirmed, I guess, but was there anything I could do? Again, I think maybe it was agreed on Lunar Blessing. I really wanted the health though. Because I was thinking they can't really let the Miraidon get damaged, right? But they risked it and they got me there. Although at that point, like I still had, again, it was going to come down to 50-50 on speed tie, if it's a speed tie. So if they are min speed, it was just a mind game. But if they don't, you never know. But yeah, I just win now. I go for Facade. I go for Lunar Blessing, I suppose. I mean, I can Moonblast. They just can never KO Cress. Cress will always just win the end game. Oh, gonna be forfeited, and not too bad. Start was good. One turn kind of just went really wrong with the free switch, but yeah, was able to sweep with Ursaluna, thankfully. Luckily, it wasn't a Grass or Bug Terra hands, but they don't really run that, I feel like. All right, we have Koraidon, Miraidon, Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Volcarona, and Fluttermane. We've actually featured this team before. It was able to get 11th place in the last Battle Stadium ladder, or last season. But I have seen an upgraded version that features the Body Press, Electric Seed, Koraidon. So I don't know if that's going to be this version or not. We'll tread cautiously. I do like my... I mean, it's going to be a bit weird. Ursaluna is amazing. What do I want to bring? I think it's definitely Miraidon, Cresselia, Ursaluna. The question is, am I bring Pal? Against Double Fire, probably not. Zamazenta is not amazing this matchup, but I guess it's okay for what it does. I'm going to do Miraidon Cress, I think. It's generally a safe lead for the most part. Or Miraidon Zama is fine too. I'm going to do Miraidon Zama because if they leave Fluttermane, I need to pressure it. With Cresselia and Ursaluna. Because I can't remember if this is Taunt Fluttermane or not. I think it might have been... It's been a while since I used that team, so I can't remember if it's Taunts with no Protect or if it actually just had 3 attacks Protect. But we will see. I like the idea of just leading my restricteds and trying to just pressure their dragons utilizing Draco Meteor. We're gonna see Miraidon Grimmsnarl, that's fine. Could be Terra Fairy on the Miraidon. Am I gonna drop a Draco Meteor immediately? I'd say not, but you never know. Since I'm planning my end game around my Cresselia next to Ursaluna, I think my best play is just to throw off attacks and target down the Grimmsnarl. I know this Grimmsnarl also has fake outs, so I'm just gonna double up the Grim with Body Press plus Electric Drift. If I remember right, this is Covert Cloak, Grimmsnarl, which doesn't really impact the game, thankfully. Actually, I don't even think they had Light Screen, if I remember right. Let's see what they do. I don't know if they're gonna fire off Electric move. They could go. I don't think you could draw off the Dazzling Gleam. You could Draco. Maybe you Dazzle actually. Then I could Wide Guard, so it's not like that big of a deal. I would like to get rid of Grimmsnarl though, because if I remember right, I do remember it was a disruptive Grimmsnarl with only Reflect. Yeah. No Terra, which is interesting from the Miraidon. But I do get the Electric Drift off. I do target down the Grimmsnarl. I don't take the KO, unfortunately, but I will KO with Body Press. They go for Volt Switch. Okay. I can't tell if that's Specs. I feel like that's not, right? Because Specs should have done more, unless it's like non-invested Specs, but I don't think that's the case. What's coming in? Miraidon, sure. Is this the Electric Seed, or is this the Loaded Dice Scale Shot? It is the Electric Seed, okay. Because I know the same 6 popped up recently with the Electric Seed Koraidon. I do get a Body Press KO into the Grimmsnarl, so Grimmsnarl goes down. It's not a terrible position. It's not like the best position, but I don't think I mind this. Let's see who's coming out next. Miraidon probably coming back in, I'd imagine. I need damage in the Koraidon. Or do I? Because Moonblast from Crest actually threatens the Miraidon a bit. I'm kind of curious on what their moves are going to lock into are with the Miraidon. I don't know if it's Specs. I don't think it's Specs though. But I don't know if they can actually knock out my Crest with a double up. I'm just going to Electro Drift the Koraidon and I'm going to fire off a... Yes, we're just gonna Body Press. I don't really need these Pokemon around, which is why I'm like willing to just throw away attacks. Because I'd rather just getting Crest next to Ursa and just start sweeping with Earthquake, hopefully. Kind of curious on what move this is gonna be. I do get an Electro Drift. No Terras are gonna come out, which makes sense because they probably think I'm choice and locked in Electro Drift. I actually do good damage with that Electro Drift. Jeez. Body Press comes out, knocks out Zamazenta. Okay. To knock out Miraidon, you have to Draco or Dazzle. Both are good for me here. Nice. Okay. That is actually good for me. It crit me, but that doesn't matter. But I'd rather them crit the Miraidon than crit my Cresselia coming up. Alright, we bring out Cresselia, we bring out the Ursaluna. Electric Seed. I feel like Protect is super obvious from the Ursaluna, but is it worth the risk? I think it is. I think I just go for a Trick Room. And I go for Terra, Ghost, Earthquake. Because I'm pretty confident that Cresselia will be able to tank the attacks thanks to the fact that they went for Dracomir, -2 special attack on the Miraidon, but also they went for a... Also, it's Electric Seed Koraidon and not like a... What's it called? A Life Orb, so I don't have to worry about like damage from the Koraidon with Flare Blitz nearly as much. My only concern is if they make a heck of an aggressive play, which is go for Draco Meteor into Flare Blitz the Ursaluna slot, but I just don't think you ever make that play. If you make that play, it's absolutely insane. I'd rather see the double up into Crest, like a Volt Switch plus a Flare Blitz into Crest. Well, let's see if that's the case. A Body Press to Crest. And Volt Switch, okay. I don't know why they Body Pressed over Flare Blitz, but maybe they didn't want to take the recoil. Either way, I still get an Earthquake off. Let's see if this is instant, which is what I'm expecting here, I suppose. Yeah. I do get some good damage to instant with the Earthquake. I don't have to worry about knockoff. So here is the Earthquake. That did nothing to Koraidon. Jeez, that did nothing to Koraidon. That did nothing. Okay. I do have Moonblast that I can go for into the Koraidon. I think I go for Earthquake Moonblasts. Because I KO the instant. I don't know if Koraidon can knock out Ursaluna. I just don't think it can. Not with Flare Blitz. I'm going to Earthquake because I think I KO the instant thanks to the Guts boost. And then Moonblast the Koraidon because if it doesn't Terrasilize and if you don't fake out the Crest, you're in trouble. And it should be Terrifier. I'm pretty sure it's like Terrifier on the Koraidon. So this is an interesting spot to say the least, but I think we're in a pretty alright offensive position. You do see Terrasilization, who is Terrasilizing. Instant, that makes sense. Arrow Water, sure. I didn't want a Facade here. Okay. Alright, I do get a Moonblast off into Koraidon, it looks like. Unless the instant... What did you go for? Citrus is bad. Citrus is bad. Okay. They knocked off my Crest, but Electric Seed came in clutch because we had that defense boost, and here is the Moonblast into the Koraidon, which will take the knockout. Okay, that's massive. That is massive. All right. Koraidon in. They still have screens though, right? I think they do have screens. Yeah, it's the last turn to Reflect. Trying to debate about what my play is here. Do they target the Ursaluna or not? I could go for a Lunar Blessing here plus Protect, but if they double up the Crest, it's bad. Like really bad. I don't think Moonblast... No, Moonblast definitely doesn't KO with Earthquake. I'm going to Protect and Lunar Blessing here. I'm going to hope I get enough HP to go for Cresselia to survive the turn. Nice, they went for knockoff, which is huge, but the question is... Well, the Miraidon's not Specs. It's not Life Orb either. It is an electric terrain though, so we'll see. Cure to burn, but we'll get it back. Nice, they did double up the Ursaluna. Sweet, okay. I had a feeling because Ursaluna is the one with the biggest damage outputting threat, but that is beautiful because Moonblast wasn't doing too much to these Pokemon. So that works out really well. That means the Reflect should be gone. No, they changed it to Light Clay. Okay. Electric Terrain is over, which is actually kind of massive. Without electric terrain and specs, I don't think you KO Ursaluna. I'm pretty sure I can go for Helping Hand Facade into the Ensign. That should take the KO, I imagine. Dude, this is... I don't care if you have Reflect and there's Intim. This is Helping Hand Facade. Yeah. KO's the Ensign. Beautiful. And then Miraidon. I don't think you can knock out my Ursaluna at this range, but we'll see. Electro Drift. That's a crit and it didn't KO. Wow, okay. Perfect. Perfect. I mean, I guess the multipliers are like a lot different. Now I can go for... Does Helping Hand Headlong Rush KO to Reflect at -1? Or is it better just a Moonblast? I think it's better just to Helping Hand Headlong Rush. I guess it just depends on if the Miraidon has Snarl. If it survives this Headlong Rush with Helping Hand. No, it does not. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess the team was changed because I don't remember it having Light Clay on the Grim, but maybe I'm misremembering teams because I've used so many teams at this point. But very good. The Trick Room worked out really well. The Crest was able to come in, get that Trick Room very safely just because we threatened huge amounts of damage right off the bat and exactly what we needed. Even though they had Reflect up, Ursaluna was able to sweep. We needed a few turns to buy. Cresselia was able to get those turns. Lunala, Whimsicott, Groudon, Ogerpon, Heartflame, Iron Hands, and Farigiraf. Okay. Definitely an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. I do like Ursaluna a lot here. Ursaluna does put in a good amount of work. Cresselia can put in a lot of work. I like Pow. I just don't know if I like Zamazenta. Does all right, but it's not like amazing. I do want the Electric Seed if I'm bringing Crest too. Volcarona is definitely my least broad option just because of the Ogerpon Heartflame and the Groudon. I think I'm okay with leading Cresselia. Cresselia Zamazenta actually doesn't seem like a bad lead here, and I think I do like it. I'm gonna lead Cresselia Zamazenta, Ursaluna back, and the Miraidon. You might be thinking, why am I not leading Miraidon immediately? It's because A, I don't want to set up the Electric Seed. B, they could lead Groudon very easily, and I don't think I want them to, like, I don't think Volt Switch position is actually that great for me there. So I'm gonna lead Zamazenta because it covers like non-Groudon leads and Groudon leads. But Iron Hands for Farigiraf is definitely an interesting one. I'm really glad I didn't lead Miraidon though, because Iron Hands is scary. But we do lead our Zamazenta and our Cresselia. Okay. Dauntless Shield. Also, since this is an Electric Seed for Farigiraf, I'm kind of curious on the item here. I am just going to get a Body Press off in a Moonblast, I think. I go for a Helping Hand, but that doesn't really impact the game. I think I'm just going to go for a Body Press into... Do I want to target Farig or do I want to target down the... Because priority doesn't matter. I did not want to forfeit there. I think I want to Body Press Moonblast to hands. I don't want some weird Sword Stance or Belly Drum coming out and me not targeting gets punished. I'm going to Moonblast here. I get some chip damage. Yep, chip. Special attack drop. Sure. Imprison. Okay. That's fine. Now I'm going to focus down the Farigiraf. They don't have Helping Hand, I think, so I get the Helping Hand Body Press, and I think I knock out Farig since it doesn't have the Electric Seed, but we'll see. I'm going to Helping Hand Body Press for maximum damage output. Ooh, just barely missing knockout. It's Rocky Helmet. It's probably max defense. Okay, that's fine. They go for Hyper Voice, sure. And Drain Punch, okay. Doesn't really do too much, and yeah, I don't think this is a bad start here at all. I get to go for Body Press into Iron Hands. I'll survive the next one. I guess I could go for Helping Hand. Do I mind that? Not really. Yeah, not really. I think I'm just going to go for Body Press and I'm just going to go for Moonblast. If they overthink and target Cresselia, that's fine too. And if they go for Helping Hand, that's okay. Well, they don't have Helping Hand. Actually, we did confirm they didn't have Helping Hand earlier because I Helping Hand through the Imprison. So Moonblast going to come out, knock out Farigiraf. Body Press does a good damage to Iron Hands. And let's see their follow-up here. just Drain Punch, and they don't knock out Iron Hand or Zamazenta. So that's beautiful. That is beautiful. All right. A pretty good start. Let's see what's coming out next. Lunala, that makes sense. Kind of curious if the Lunala is max speed on this team. They need to be max speed in order to outspeed my Zamazenta. I have a few plays. I can go out into my Ursaluna for the Moongeist Beam. I could go for Helping Hand, Body Press into the Iron Hands as well. That's also pretty tempting. I don't think... I'm trying to think about this. I think my best play... There's no way you finally move my Cresselia. I think it's just Body Press the hands and swap to Ursaluna. Because I'll save my Terra for just the right moment. We get in our Ursaluna. We get a Body Press off. We also have the Flame Body active, which is nice. Beautiful. We Drain Punch my Zamazenta. Nice. Perfect. All right. This is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good right now, I'd say. So I can now go out into Cresselia. I do want to throw off a Moongeist or a Moonblast into Iron Hands with the Terra Fairy, which will KO the Iron Hands. And then for my Ursaluna, I think I'm just going to Earthquake here. Yeah, Earthquake. Because with the Moonblast, we KO the Iron Hands. Earthquake will come out into the Ursaluna or into the Miraidon or into the Lunala. Why am I mixing up my mons right here? We get the Terra Fairy, so we are now neutral to Moongeist Beam. They go for Wide Guard, which is actually perfect. So I do get the Moonblast KO. I mean, here's the thing. I didn't get the KO onto the... Or I didn't get the chip damage into Lunala for the Shadow Shield, but I think this is pretty good. They didn't get any damage into my Ursaluna. That can now threaten a Facade into Groudon. Can I help me hit Facade knockout? If I can, I'm definitely going to go for it, because if I get the knockout, that's massive. Because that means my Miraidon should be able to beat the Lunala pretty easily. This should be Groudon. Oh, it's Ogerpon back. Okay. Changed my game plan a bit, but I think I'm good. I'm going to go for Moonblast into... Should I Moonblast or should I just Lunar Blessing? No, I want... I think I just Moonblast and swap out into Miraidon. Because here's the thing. They could go for Terastallization. I think Protect Trick Room is very obvious. I want to get the Electric Seed boost. So I hopefully survive the attack. And then I can fire off, like, Helping Hand Electro Drift to KO. No Groudon in the Miraidon matchup is insane to me, by the way. No Groudon in the Miraidon Zamazenta matchup. Is it only solo Precipice Blades? Because that's the only reason why I would say you leave Groudon behind, is if you're that afraid of Wide Guard. We do see the Terastallization, and it is Terrifier. Yep. Perfect. And with that Electric Seed boost, we should tank this more comfortably. But also, if they target the Ursaluna with a Grass type move, yep, that works out perfectly. That does a lot, actually. Okay. Meteor Beam coming out. That's fine. Actually, is this... What did they target? Cresselia, that's fine. Okay. Alright, I do get the Moonblast off into the Lunala, which is able to chip. Oh, that's such a big special attack throughout. That makes my life easier. Because now I have access to Helping Hand Electro Drift. I think Helping Hand Electro Drift and tarting down my... I could also Trick Room and drop a Electro Drift into Ogerpon. That's only if I expect Lunala to go for the Moongeist Beam into my... Well, if you're going to attack, you're going to Moongeist Beam, right? I think I'd go for Trick Room. And I think I go for Electro Drift into Ogerpon. I don't think they protect, but we'll see. They follow me. That's best case scenario, actually. Because Electro Drift should KO the Ogerpon, and then Ursaluna should be very safe. I think that's the only way they could attack my Ursaluna 2 was through the Ogerpon, but since they sacrificed it, I think it works out. Maybe I should have went for Helping Hand, Electro Drift into Lunala, but the thing is that opens up the door for them going for Ivy Cudgel. So I think I did have to get like a Trick Room or the KO into Ogerpon, and thankfully they're going to give me both. So they go for the Moonblast into Miraidon, but that's fine because I get the Trick Room up, and now I win the game because Ursaluna is in, and Headlong Rush Helping Hand is going to destroy this Lunala. I just realized it's Moongeist Beam, Moonblast, Meteor Beam, Wide Guard. That's an interesting Lunala set. Okay. As we get the Helping Hand, we get a Headlong Rush. And we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. I think even if we didn't get the special attack drop, it was just going to come down to a read, but the special attack drop just made it such a safer end game because Cresselia wasn't threatened by a Moongeist Beam knockout there. So I would have been able to always do the same. I would have done the play of Electro Drift Trick Room. I think I would have still done the same play regardless, but I guess it like comes down to them again with the Ogerpon. But if they target my Miraidon, I get Trick Room up, which means that Headlong Rush or Facade is pretty safe. If they decide to target down my Cresselia, I can Electro Drift the Ogerpon the next turn. They need a double Spiky Shield because Electro Drift into Headlong Rush was a pretty safe play. So I thought it was pretty good. What is this? Smeargle, Fluttermane, Tornadus, Rillaboom, Lunala, and Koraidon. What am I looking at here? Okay. So I would imagine they don't run Taunt unless it's Fluttermane that has Taunt on this team. Volcarona not bringing against Koraidon. Chanpow's decent. I don't know if I really want to... Yeah, Chanpao is actually pretty decent. It forces Terra. Ursaluna is really good, but can I set up Ursaluna is a big question. If I can set up, it's a great mod. If I can't, it's an awkward mod. Problem is a lot of my leads are consumables like Electric Sea Crest, the Electric Terrain, which I don't want to lead against the Rillaboom, but I think I will just go with Miraidon plus Cresselia, Ursaluna back, and the Zamazenta. Let's see if I'm right, but this is a tricky one. This Smeargle is going to be a pain with Decorate stuff. I assume it's probably Meteor Beam, or maybe... I'd probably say it's Meteor Beam on Lunala, but we'll see. Alright, Rillaboom, Koraidon. That's fine. Are they going to Terrasilize? I don't really need Miraidon too much. I'm willing to throw it away just to get Draco Meteor off, because if I get rid of Koraidon, that's actually kind of massive for my team in general. I am just going to go for a Draco Meteor, and I will just go for a Moonblast. Got my Electric Seed boost. I could also throw away Zamazenta, because Zamazenta doesn't really matter too much in this. You know what? I'll throw away Zamazenta. I don't think Zamazenta is necessary. I'm going to Moonblast in case they decide not to Terra and I punish it heavy, but we'll see. The Zamazenta will come in. I don't really need Zamazenta too much in this matchup, so I'm okay with letting it go. They fake out my Miraidon slot, which makes sense. They also didn't Terrasilize, so I am able to get a Moonblast off. They went for Scale Shot, so this ended up being way better than I expected. I was expecting like a close combat to come out, but that is huge for me. That is absolutely huge for me. Oh, that's great. That is great. All right. Gladly take that. We get a free Moonblast off into Koraidon. Lovely, lovely damage. Special attack drop doesn't matter because it's probably loaded dice. Loaded dice. Can it KO Zamazenta? I kind of doubt it. Let's see. I think I want to just get a body press off into... Or do I need to? I'm debating about trying to catch a Lunala switch, but I don't know if it's worth it. I think I'm just going to body press and I'm just going to go for a Trick Room. Yeah, I think Trick Room is fine because their team's really fast. They retreat the Koraidon, so this might be Lunala on their side, which makes sense. Oh, Flutter Mane. Okay, so they brought Flutter. Interesting. Okay. That's perfectly acceptable with me. Go for U-turn? Sure. All right. I do not mind this spot. I do not mind this spot. Should be Lunala coming in. All right. They brought a double ghost. If I attack incorrectly, I can easily lose this game, so I got to be cautious. I do want a heavy slam to Flutter. The question is, am I moonblasting the Flutter? I could Lunar Blessing. I could go for a Terra Fairy if I want. I don't know if I want a Terra Fairy because I could save the Terra for the end game. And Moongeist Beam shouldn't KO me in one shot anyway. The only way they should be able to knock on my Crest is with a double attack. I feel like the Moonblast into Heavy Slam is so obvious. I think I'm going to Moonblast. If I Moonblast Lunala, it doesn't accomplish much. That's the thing. I guess I'm going to double up the Flutter. All right, they didn't protect, so I do get rid of the Flutter, which is kind of massive for me. I'll gladly take that. They went for my Zamazenta slot. Incredible. As I easily tank that, and I get a Heavy Slam off into the Flutter, so Flutter goes down. That is beautiful. All right. Wasn't sure there. I thought Flutter could protect and the Lunala could get free attacks, but that ended up working really nicely because even if I Moonblast the Lunala, I'm pretty sure it gets back its health from grassy terrain. It also could have been like Calm Mind stuff. A Koraidon coming in, which is fine. I'm just going to Lunar Blessing and Body Press. They're going to Terra. They might be trying to go for like a last ditch effort of going for Terra with a Koraidon. Yeah, expecting the Moonblast. And yeah, I'm covering for that. By going for the Body Press Lunar Blessing because I get the recovery as well. I get Lunar Blessing. All right. Who's faster, Koraidon or Zama? Because last time it was guaranteed Zama was slower because of the Scale Shot boost. They go for Moongeist Beam into Crest this time. Crest eats it. We do outspeed and get the KO onto the Koraidon under Trick Room. So Koraidon goes down. Fantastic. This is looking really, really good of an end game. We just got to get rid of the Ursaluna or the Rillaboom. I debate about what Terra am I going for. I don't need Terra Ghost on Ursaluna. At least I don't think I do. Last turn of Grassy Terrain, Sunlight. Okay. I guess just protect Moonblast here. Battle gonna be forfeit because they realize, oh, it's like really bad for them situation wise. And yeah, it's really bad situation wise for them because they just don't have anything that really can break through my Zamazenta at that point. So very beautiful. Like the fact that I was just able to get so much with the Crest, they disrespected it, was able to get a good amount of damage to Koraidon to switch. Because Zamazenta was unnecessary to me to win, but it ended up working out really well because they let me put it into a position where I was actually able to get a ton of damage, right? I wonder if they were like trying to expect a Terra. They did double switch on the Body Press to the Ghost types, but once Trick Room was up and the fact that they played aggressive, yeah, it did not work out well for them. Incineroar with Calyrexs, Ice Rider, Miraidon, Iron Hands, Urshifu, and Whimsicott. Okay, this is a pretty standard team. This is quite interesting because not 100% what the right lead is here. I could sweep. Can I sweep with Ursaluna, or is that not worth it? I'm thinking it might not be worth it, but we'll see. Oh, this is going to be a strange one. I don't think... I would love Volk, but I don't know if Volk is correct. I think I'm gonna lead Miraidon plus Xian Pao. I think that's not too bad. I really like Zamazenta Body Press. I'm thinking no Ursa in this game, which does make the Miraidon a bit trickier, but I think across the board it's worth it. I guess Landers could also be a bit of an issue. They're definitely bringing Landers in this game, but who are they partnering it up with? I think Incineroar, Miraidon, Calyrexs, Lando makes a lot of sense against my team. I think they would leave behind the Whimsicott mainly because I do have that Tricker mode. And Urshifu is like weird. It's like good against like a decent amount of my Mons, but it's not really like amazing to Cress, and it's not amazing to Miraidon. So also, like, if you're not bringing Whimsicott, like, it's really hard to set up the Ursh because I don't think Trick Room is going to enable it because I have Miraidon on the fast side and I have a potential Ursaluna on the slow side, but we'll see. They let Incineroar Whimsicott, which is a very interesting lead here. Okay. Sure. We're not going to find out anything about my abilities yet. It could fake out Moonblast though. Baiting about going Zama and just crashing. I think this is sad. Actually, yeah, I think that's a play. I don't think you fake out the POW here. I'm gonna crash the Whims. Like, I know this is a bit of an aggressive play, but I feel it's way more likely you're gonna focus on the Miraidon, which is a bigger threat across the board, but we'll see. Maybe they decide to target the POW because they want to set up for Lando, which I guess would be fair. But no, they just Tailwind and I guess U-turn or Parting Shot? Okay, that's fine. That actually works out pretty well for me because I'm not really concerned about the body press, and I can throw off a Sucker Punch into Whims if it's the Focus Sash Endeavor set. It is Landers. Okay. I get a Crash off. It is the Sash. Okay. I don't think this is a bad combo. They also only brought one of the restricteds, and I have a feeling it's probably Miraidon, which means it's a lot easier to handle. Gonna protect and just Sucker Punch, I think. Yeah, you double up my POW easily in this position. There's no way. Like, I just don't know if it's Sands here or if it's Earth Power. Like, you Terra Water, which is fine. Unless the Whimsicott actually can protect here, I suppose. But I think you would want to take a knockout, but we'll see. They didn't protect. Yeah, okay, I got the Sucker Punch off. That's massive. Okay, awesome. Whew, okay, that's really good. They did go for Sansi. I could have wide guarded, but I was not risking them going for an Earth Power. Beautiful. Beautiful. That also should be Life Orb Lando and not like one of those Choice Scarf ones. Okay, perfect. It should be Miraidon coming. Oh, Instant coming in. Okay. This is pretty fine. Am I right? So I think I just go for a Terra Grass Body Press into the Instant and swap out into Cress. Yeah, no, this is safe. Because they really can't do much to Terra Grass Zama. I don't really need the Terrassalization on any of my Mons anymore. And I rather clear the Instant, even though Lando's a bigger offensive threat. The reason I'm turning down the Instant is because I do have Scarf Electro Drift that I can use to clean up against the Lando if I need it. So that's not too bad. Terragrass Zama. They go for Earth Power and a POW, which is beautiful. They didn't fake out either. So what did they go for? Parting Shot again? Oh, they Wisp. Okay, but that's fine. That is fine. As we get Body Press off into Instant. Good damage. I do have Lunar Blessing, so I can just Lunar Blessing the burn away as well. So I can just go for Body Press and Lunar Blessing here. Yeah. That's pretty safe. The Lando can't touch the Crest. They can go for Sludge Bomb and the Zama, but that's okay as well. I'm feeling pretty good about my position. The Crest is kind of walling this spot and can get some decent chip damage. Set up for Sucker Punch cleanup and Scarf Miraidon endgame, which is what I'm going for. I wouldn't be surprised if the instant Parting Shots were switches out here. But yeah, if they Parting Shot or switch out, they take a ton of damage, so that's okay. They go for Sludge Bomb into Zama. They actually did more damage than I expected. But they go for Knockoff. Okay. That's perfect, because Body Press will KO the instant, and then I get the Lunar Blessing. Alright, instant goes down. Are they not helmet? I'm curious what the item they are, because they're not Assault Vest. But sure, I'm in a great spot now. And terrain's gonna expire for them in a minute, so this is actually really, really good. Miraidon coming in. There's no way they KO my Cresselia with Electric Drift, right? I'm like pretty confident they don't. I'm just gonna Body Press and Moonblast. There's no reason to protect here. The Tailwind expired already, so if the Lando is slow, I'm outspeeding them, which is pretty massive. I just go for Moonblast plus Body Press. Calm Mind Miraidon. That's fine, right? Yeah, POW. I think. Oh yeah, I should be fine. I should be fine. Okay. Should be fine. Body Press, it's so much damage. The Zamazenta will go down here, but we will get a Moonblast off as well. I wish I went for Helping Hand, but wasn't expecting Calm Mind. Yeah, I KO'd a Miraidon. Perfect. Good job, Crest. That's the perfect thing you needed to do in that position. Electric Train disappears, but guess what is getting set up? My Scarf Miraidon endgame. Woo! Alright. Alright. Now we go for Electro Drift and we go for Moonblast, and I'm feeling pretty good about my spot. I'm feeling pretty good about my spot. Now gonna be forfeited. Oh man. Alright. That was really good. They didn't bring the Calyrexs. I was able to get the KO on Whimsicott, which was massive. I got like the turn 1 right, or not the turn 1 right, but like it just ended up being a good spot because I was able to just get rid of Endeavor, I'm assuming Whimsicott, with the Sucker Punch, which was massive. And the Lando was kind of vulnerable. It used its Terra. So I was actually in a really good spot to just set up for my Miraidon to KO because they didn't have a defensive Terra on their Miraidon available. And yeah, like went pretty well, I'd say. This is one heck of a team. Miraidon, Calyrexs, Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Iron Bundle, the Cornerstone Ogerpon, and Annihilate. Oh boy. A lot of things that could go wrong here. Okay. If I get Trick 'em Up, they're screwed though. I just don't know if I can get Trick 'em Up. Because Electric Seed isn't like... Electric Seed doesn't change much here. I think I go Miraidon, and I think I go... Is it Miraidon POW lead? It might be. I need Zama on this, not really. I think it is Miraidon POW. Have Cresselia and the Ursaluna in the back. Because POW just puts on a decent amount of pressure with Sucker Punch, which is pretty big. Being able to threaten Sucker Punch allows for some interesting spots to set up for a Trick 'em scenario. But we'll find out. Calyrexs and Cornerstone Ogerpon. Okay, that's fine. So I have a free Snarl and Icicle Crash here, and that's pretty safe. There's not really anything they can do to punish. Yeah. So I'm gonna go for Snarl and Icicle Crash. I guess the question is, do I want to target the Ogerpon, or is the Spiky Shield too obvious that I just target the Cali? They could go instant for the Cali if they want to make a safe play, but I'm okay with that because that's pretty passive. I think I'm just gonna Snarl and I'm just gonna go for Icicle Crash. Because we want to try to get rid of the Redirector on the Cornerstone so we can focus down more on the Shadow Rider. They protect Shadow Rider. Is this a double protect, or did they play aggressive with the Cornerstone? That's also another play. Okay, they just Spike a Shield. That's fine. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. I still can go for the same play if I want to, and I am debating about it. I feel like they should know I'm Scarf, but like, what do they switch into? Annihilate would be kind of scary. Annihilate would be a bit scary. I'm going to target the Cali slot. They retreat to Shadow Rider. Oh, I could have got the KO on Ogerpon. They might tear out an Ogerpon though. Oh, it is Annihilate. Okay. I actually do want this hit into Annihilate. So this is actually not terrible. Although maybe I should... No, I think this is correct. I still think this is correct because Ivy Cudgel won't KO the Miraidon. We go for Ivy Cudgel to bring me down to Sash. Sure. Oh, it's lefties. Why you lefties? Okay. Are you gonna Drain Punch, or are you gonna Rage Fist? I think my best play is to go Cress and just Icicle Crash. The Cornerstone. Because I cannot let them get a Drain Punch off. If they get a Drain Punch, I'm a really bad spot. So I'd rather that, because I think they live the next Snarl, so they might Drain Punch for recovery instead of Rage Fist. And if they protect, this works out too, because it protects attack, which is what I could have anticipated as well. So I'm getting these raids right. I got the first turn right, or not first turn right. First turn was neutral. Second turn, like, it wasn't the best because I could have got the Ogerpon knockout, but I still think getting the damage on Annihilate was actually huge. But we'll see how the rest goes. Instant coming in, okay. I think at this point I just Moonblast and I swap out my Chien-Pao into Ursaluna. I don't know where the fake out's going off into, but I mean, I'm trying to think of like all the ways I can reposition this, like what they do here. If they take the KO on Crest, that's fine, because the only way they can take the KO on Crest is through Rage Fist, if that even KOs Crest. And if that's the case, then Miraidon comes in and revenge KOs everything, right? I don't think that's that big of a deal. But I like the idea of Terra Fairy, Terrestrialization, Moonblast here. They fake out the POW, beautiful. They did Rage Fist. I have the Electric Seed. They are +2 and they've taken 2 hits. Yeah, I take it with ease. And then Moonblast will KO. Alright, that's really good. That is really good. I get rid of the Annihilate, and now my Miraidon's looking really nice to clean up this endgame. Flame Orb is active. Yeah, it seems super solid endgame wise here. Calyrexs Shadow Rider in. That's perfect. I get to go for Earthquake plus whatever I really want to do here. I think I'm gonna go for a... There's no way you can knock out the Ursaluna in one shot, right? I don't think you can. I think I'm just going to Lunar Blessing here. And Earthquake. The reason is in case they decide, hey, I'm going to protect Shadow Rider to get chip damage with the instant. They really shouldn't do that, though, because I could just Trick Room. But I want my Scarf Miraidon to actually do stuff. Okay, they go for Psychic, which is fine. Yeah, I take it with ease. And then because I'm faster than the Incineroar, I get the Lunar Blessing out first. So there's no way Incineroar should be able to knock out my Ursaluna at this range. And with the Earthquake, I put all of these, I put them into range of Miraidon. Yeah, they go for Flare, but it's perfect. So this actually ended up being the perfect decision here, because the Lunar Blessing may actually allow my Ursaluna to survive that hit. It might have been close actually, but I think it did. Or at least it did guaranteed, because a crit would have knocked out. I got good damage there, and at this point, like, pretty confident I seal this here. I go for Moonblast and a Earthquake again. Yeah, that's always the play. Because what are the ways they can win this? Quick Claw Shadow Rider, that's just Quick Claw. If it's Choice Scarf for some reason, it won't be able to hit my Chien Pao, so Chien Pao just wins. I go for the Moonblast. I just try to ensure the KO on Incineroar this turn, and I'm fine. You go for Astral. That's not going to change anything. And because my Crest is faster than the Incin, I get a Moonblast KO, and then Earthquake finishes it off. Also, we confirmed it wasn't Scarf there, so Miraidon just won because Electric Drift was pretty safe. So Incin goes down to the Moonblast, and the Earthquake will come out and knock out the Shadow Rider. And, oh boy. Scarf and Annihilape's scary. Annihilape was scary, but I mean, I got the good damage off, which was nice. Was able to KO the Cornerstone the next turn. The turn they protected, I'm really glad I got right, because there were different angles they could have went. They could have just went for Follow Me. I thought about it. I'm like, there is a world where they protect here the Annihilate, because the Annihilape's a big threat that they don't think they want to let go of. So I can go for Crash in the Cornerstone. I think they were either going to Follow Me or protect the Annihilate and attack with the Cornerstone to keep Annihilape around. And I'm like, okay, I either get the Crash off anyway into the Cornerstone like anticipated, or I get rid of the Follow Me mon so I can revenge KO with the Miraidon. And I made sure that like that Annihilate was not getting Drain Punch recovery, because Drain Punch recovery would have been really bad. Groudon Lunala with Incineroar, Flutter Mane, Raging Bolt, and Chien Pao. All right. This matchup is not fun. Matchup is not fun. There is a Groudon, which when you bring 2 restricteds that are weak to ground and 1 ground immunity, yeah, it's not the best. Unfortunately, I might need to do I need the Electric Seed on the Cresselia? Maybe not. I can maybe get away with not running it. I think Chien Pao's not that great in this matchup. It can't help but against Raging Bolt, Force of Terror on Groudon, and maybe the Lunala, but I don't think it's that great. If I could set up Ursaluna, that'd be great. Cresselia and Ursaluna are really good. It's just, can I set it up properly? I think I probably would just go with Zamazenta, and this is a problem. Am I leading Zamazenta plus Miraidon or Zamazenta plus the Cresselia? Because I don't really want to power up the Raging Bolt. And if they lead Flutter Mane Groudon, well, I guess I could just swap into Crest. That wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Volcarona is kind of tempting, but at the same time, I don't think it's that great in this matchup. Chien Pao is just, I don't like the Sword of Ruin playing against me with the Precipice Blades. I think that would be pretty bad. I think if I set up Ursaluna though, I'm in a great spot, but setting up that Ursaluna is going to be pretty tricky against Lunala. A Groudon Lunala immediately leads. Okay. Versus Zamazenta and Miraidon. Sure. Am I volt switching here? Problem is, I might be taking a lot of damage. I could drop a Draco Meteor Body Press right here into the Groudon, which would KO. Might be worth it. Because it's hard to switch into Lunala right now with the Groudon on the field. I think I will, actually. I'm just going to drop attacks into Groudon. If they protect, they protect. Oh, don't tell me a Terra Fairy. Okay, the Lunala Terrace. That's fine. Why Fire Terra? Drop a Draco Meteor. I one-shot the Groudon. I'm not Specs. What? Are you Choice Scarf Groudon? I think you're Choice Scarf Groudon. Get a good body press off into Lunala. Oh my goodness. It has Heat Wave. That did nothing. Did burn my Zamazenta though, which is actually kind of a shame. Or not my Zamazenta, my Miraidon. What was that turn? I do not know. Wait, were you Scarf Groudon? I don't think it was Scarf Groudon. Like, looking back, it doesn't look like Scarf Groudon, but like, what the heck? Hey, Qianpao in. I don't know what I'm supposed to expect. I'm just gonna protect my... I'm just going to protect my Zamazenta so I don't lose resources immediately, and I'm just going to drop a Draco into the POW, I think. I want to scout for Sacred Sword. And I want to break Sash on the POW because it sets up Ursaluna or Cresselia really nicely. Alright, we landed Draco Meteor into the Qianpao. Still does a ton of damage, even at -2 with a Scarf. It is Sacred Sword on the Qianpao. That makes sense. And the Lunala... Is it Heat Wave again? No, Moongeist Beam. Okay. That's not even going to KO, is it? It's not. So I think I could Body Press the Lunala and Draco Meteor to POW. And just spread really heavy damage across. Yeah. That's fine by me. If they switch out the POW into whatever, that's fine. If they Sucker Punch, then I still have Sword of Ruin Body Press coming out on the Lunala, which is still pretty good for me. Like, I'll take this position. It's definitely a strange one, but... yeah, they're in a really weird spot. They're in a really weird spot. I had a feeling it was Sacred Sword POW, because, like, that's the only reason you would bring it in is to threaten the Zamazenta. But Heat Wave, Terrifier, Lunala is not something. It's not Specs and it's not Scarf, so I don't know what item it is. They Sucker Punch my Miraidon, that makes sense. But as I said before, I'm willing to give up my Miraidon to get the Body Press into the Lunala, which I think should KO with the Sword of Ruin. Yeah. So now Lunala's gone. That's one of their offenses just deleted. And then last Pokemon. Oh, I guess if it's Raging Bolt... no, I should be fine if it's Raging Bolt. We bring in Cress. It is Raging Bolt. Okay. I just need Cress to live the attacks. I just need Cress to live the attacks. Yeah. Maybe I should have went Ursaluna first. Yeah, this is fine. I just don't believe that Thunderbolt knocks out my... it's electric terrain boosted though. Okay, Cress, you're gonna have to prove your worth. You have to prove your worth right here. I don't know if I live Sacred Sword. I mean, I heavy slam the POW, take the knockout. Oh wait, no, I can Body Press because they Terrasilize already. I just Trick Room. I don't have to Terra here. Yeah, I don't have to Terra here because they're not going to crunch. A High Spinner to cover for the Terra, but I didn't Terra. I mean, that doesn't even matter because the end game just comes down to does the Thunderbolt KO the Cress? Because if it did... wait, the Ice Spinner got rid of terrain too, actually. So now I guarantee live this because they got rid of the electric terrain for me because they read the Terra Grass. I did debate about it. Oh, electric terrain was definitely not KOing. It was definitely not KOing, especially since they're not Life or Bolt. Okay, game is over. Game is over. It's gonna Body Press and Lunar Blessing. I do have Ursaluna back. Beautiful. Beautiful. Don't know what exactly just happened, but we'll take it. I mean, I just was... that Groudon not living the Draco Meteor is insane to me. Like, that's a Scarf Miraidon, and the Draco Meteor just KO'd the Groudon. So I don't know what their game plan was. If they were Scarf, they knew that I was Scarf because of the electric terrain going up first. They protect, I Lunar Blessing the punish. Works. But yeah, because of the Ice Spinner, I mean, even with the Ice Spinner, like, what's the thing here? If they go for Ice Spinner, then it's fine into the... or if they go for Sacred Sword and a Zamazenta, I get Trick Room up, Ursaluna goes Helping Hand, Earthquake, GG. If they decide with if they decide to double up my Crest with Ice Spinner plus Thunderbolt, I was going to live anyway. if they go for Thunderbolt with Raging Bolt, as long as I don't get paralyzed or crit in the electric terrain, like that's fine, because we saw the damage on Thunderbolt is just not enough. If they were Life Orb, it would have been scary. I think it would have KO'd actually if they were Life Orb, but it's not what I have to worry about. Now I just go for Body Press Lunar Blessing. I'm gonna be forfeit because they realized that like they lost the sun, they lost their damage output. Yeah, like no booster energy. I still had Ursaluna in the back. It was a pretty safe one. So Terrifier, Heat Wave, Lunala, turn 1. I don't even think it was worth it because it didn't even play anything defensively. It actually made them vulnerable to the body press from my Zamazenta, so I was able to break the Shadow Shield. Like it was actually like so many levels of like that was bad damage, and Heatwave didn't even do that much. Like that did nothing to Zamazenta. For a Sun Terrifier boosted move, that did nothing. All right, let's go over the games. In game 1, a great start. Maybe I shouldn't have sacked my Volcarona so early, so I could have kept it as a resource later on in the match and got a bit greedy with the Protect Lunar Blessing, as I really didn't think they would risk switching in Miraidon, but they got me though, and thankfully Ursaluna still was able to clutch up under the Trick Room and finish off my opponent. In game 2, double dragons, but Cresselia was huge, being able to set up the Trick Room comfortably and chip them away with Moonblast, and finally helped the Ursaluna procure the final knockouts. In game 3, no Groudon, had a good endgame for the Ogerpon and Lunala though, thanks to Miraidon knocking out the Ogerpon, and Ursaluna was able to solo the remaining Lunala. In game 4, not how I expected the game to go, but was able to get an incredible start with eliminating the Fluttermane and Koraidon without taking much damage, as they burnt their resources way too quickly. In game 5, made an aggressive play at the start, but getting the knockout onto Whimsicott immediately helped to prepare for a Choice Scarf Miraidon cleanup, especially after knocking out their Miraidon with the double up. In game 6, a great start, eliminating the Ogerpon and the Annihilate without taking too much damage, and was able to set up my Choice Scarf Miraidon to clean up, though my Ursaluna apparently was just enough. In game 7, Terrifier Heatwave Lunala. Okay, not sure why, but it was weak, and with the amazing start turn 1, I just pushed my momentum to set up a good endgame for my Ursaluna to win, assuming Cresselia was able to live one attack from the Raging Bolt. And even though I didn't expect the Ice Spinner that turn alongside the Thunderbolt to get rid of the electric terrain, yeah, Cresselia would have been able to live because it wasn't like a Life Orb or Choice Specs Raging Bolt. So how was Cresselia? Cresselia actually early on, when I was first testing the team to see if I want to feature it on the channel, it wasn't exactly the best performer, but I feel like as I did play a few matches, it was just able to actually perform. I understood the team better, especially because I'm not really a big Choice Scarf Miraidon user. So I think after playing with it a bit, I was able to showcase really well on what it was able to accomplish, and I'm really glad that I was able to actually bring out the strong suits to the team. The Choice Scarf Miraidon was actually pretty powerful with the Cresselia as a nice pivot. The Zamazenta, of course, could be awkward in some cases, but it's just Zamazenta does what it needs to do on the Miraidon team. And then, of course, Ursaluna, super strong. Lunar Blessing, Cresselia, just be able to stick around, get the Trick Room. Moonblast was actually good chip damage, and heal around the team while powering up the partners with the helping hand actually was pretty valuable. If you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. And if you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. But yeah, we actually somehow went undefeated with this team, which is not what I would have expected when I first tried it out. But subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.